Welcome in, everybody. I don't know how that doesn't get you pumped up, man. I don't know how that doesn't get you pumped up, ready for football. Tony Jigsaw Cutillo, Pittsburgh John Coker, Fantasy Firebox. It's been about 3 to 4 weeks. I get it. But listen, soccer coach has a lot of commitments, man. It just is what it is. And then we got to do the family thing and we got to do, there's a lot of stuff going on. But anyway, we're back. It's week 10. A lot of stuff to talk about. You know the concept. It's a triple threat concept. You're going to get John's triple threat. You're going to get my triple threat, some value plays, and then we're going to get out of here. As always, bring the comments, bring the suggestions. But one thing's for sure, make sure you're following Win Sports. Make sure that you're hitting the notification button. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. And then most importantly, there's a lot of other things that you want to do. Number one, you want to go right there. Go to that reference code right there. Get your first free week, and you put in the code word green, GREEN. You'll get more of that halfway through the show. And every single day, because we hit a couple last night, we're going to hit them again. Go to the free Discord room. This is the Final Judgment Discord room where you will meet me and only me. It's all plus money props. That's all I do is plus money props. Last night, D-Mitch hurt me just a little bit, but Steph Curry helped me pick it up. So make sure you go in there every single day. It's just plus money props. You want to go in there, make sure you hit that Discord room. And again, it is free. So make sure you're checking it out. Adam already saying, good morning. What's up, Adam? How you doing? He's meeting all kinds of meet and greets yesterday, meeting the crazy Eagle fan yesterday. I saw you, Adam. You're getting it in. But John, it's been a while, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the NFL, man. But how you been, man?
Okay. Hey, trade deadline season in regular leagues, looking to beef up that roster for a playoff run. But, those rosters are locked in. That's why we play daily, man. We can have any player we want any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday. Fantastic movie, by the way. But what's funny about that? A couple guys, I do a spot on Jacob Sports with Pat this week of pro football. I didn't do it this week because I had soccer, obviously. But I keep trying to bring him over to our side, John, because he's always complaining about, the dude, he's injured. I got all these injuries. I'm like, that's why you play daily, right? You either play best ball or you play daily. I mean, and honestly, and that's the only way to go right now. And DFS just continues to fuel the fantasy market because it goes hand in hand with sports betting. And what I mean by sports betting is the prop market. So the prop market is huge when you look at the DFS market. But John, we're getting right into this because we got the triple threat. And obviously, if you don't know how the triple threat works, this is our top three we feel. One from each position that we feel if you have this in your DFS daily fantasy lineup, this core will take you to the next level. And it's been hit or miss, but it's fun. And we got a couple interesting quarterback selections here. And I'm going to bring it up right now because who would have thought that we would be throwing these two guys on the top of a triple threat right here? Again, John's on the right, Jigsaw on the left. John, I'll go right to you first. I mean, listen, I'm just looking at this as a whole. And if you told me, John, when we did our preseason show, that we would have a Bear, 2 Dolphins, and a Jaguar in 4 out of our top 6 for a week, I think you were crazy, right?
Yeah, that's what this season has come to. I mean, especially you look at even the NFL in general, you look at the perennial powerhouses, the Packers, the Bucks, the Steelers. The Rams haven't been doing much. It's been a topsy-turvy season. Jets and Dolphins looking to take over the Bills in the AFC East. I mean, this is great. And New England just won't go away.
They're never going to go away, man. You know what I mean? They're never, ever, ever going to go away. Ever. My man Mike T. Oh, Mike, what's up, buddy? How you doing, Mike? Checking in. Big John, happy weekend, fellas. Mike, as always, bro. Happy weekend. I hope, Mike, we've been talking about John's a retired soccer guy now. I'm still holding it down. John's enjoying his weekends now, right?
Oh, I'll tell you what, you don't realize how nice it is till you get out of the hustle. You know what I mean? It's no more. Look, I can go when I want to go. It's, I like retirement life, coaching or work. I'm ready to retire from work too, but I think I got a couple more decades still to go.
Yeah, bro. We're gonna, maybe we hit it early. Maybe we hit it early. You never know. You never know when you're ready to hit the reset button. Life is, what I will tell everybody, life is crazy sometimes. So you just never know. I take day by day. So I do. I have plans, but day by day, we'll see what happens. But John, let's get right into your triple threat. So right off the bat, I'm gonna throw it up here again. John's going Tua. He's going ETN and Tyreek Hill. I don't know, John. Talk about it, man. I see why. Let everybody else know. Why is your triple threat?
Look, Tyreek is priced so high. However, I mean, he's already at 1,100 yards almost halfway through the season. He's probably on pace for like 2,000.
It's
All right.
insane.
I don't really want to pay up for him, but I still think he is going to be the best receiver on the slate. If I could fit him in there, I was like, you know what? This is the triple threat. I'm going with Reek. I think he's the guy this week. He's been the guy for multiple weeks. At quarterback, really looking at what was out there, it's really been the big three with, or even four, if you want to call it, with, you got Allen, you got Hurts, and then Mahomes and Lamar. Well, Allen's a little banged up. Lamar's on a bye. So Mahomes is out there at 7,900. But, to me, just what Tua's been doing, unexpected. I've never been a Tua guy. I felt like even last year, he used half the field. He never looked at the other side of the field. And that's where I think he's made really big steps, both that and the addition of Tyreek, obviously. But, at 6,700, he's one of the few guys that I like. I also, I like your pick there at quarterback as well. But yeah, I think Tua got a lot of upside in this game. And when it comes to the running backs, value play, triple threat. I mean, I just keep honing on two guys, which is ETN and Dameon Pierce. Those are the only two guys that I actually really love this week. And their price points are decent. So I went with ATN. He's getting that workload. Look, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold that up for the remainder of the season, getting 25, 27 touches a game. But in the meantime, I'm going to ride with them. So, yeah, you got two Dolphins and a Jag, man.
What are the odds? And it's funny, and I don't say this to pat myself on the back, or John does say this to pat himself on the back. We had preseason shows, and I did some radio tours, and John was on here with me. We were talking it up, whether it be here, whether it be on Sirius. And don't forget to every Saturday night from 5 to 8, check the Win Daily Show out on Sirius XM channel 87. But we talked about guys, Dameon Pierce. We talked about him, going with a coach like Lovie Smith, who loves to run the ball old school, right? That's the one thing John knows this. And I tell everybody this all the time. Look at the coaching, understand the concept of the team. And right away, you knew, even though he was a rookie, didn't matter. You knew Lovie Smith was going to feed this kid the rock. That's what Lovie does. And he's doing it, and he continues to do it. And you talked about ETN. You're right. The only thing that could be a knock on him was always his size. I mean, listen, John, we for years, there was a guy named Fragile Fred in Jacksonville, right? Freddie Taylor, who was unbelievable at times, but you always had you had to gasp. Is it going to be a hamstring this week? Is it going to be right? So I love it. And another guy in Mr. Fields, in Justin Fields. Let me just tell you something. Finally, get to my man Mike say, yo, man, thanks, Mike. We appreciate the love, as always. Make sure you're following. Listen, you got to follow everywhere. I can't help it. I'm a man in many hats here. So make sure, Heat Ratio Sports, Win Daily Sports, and make sure you follow my own thing, man, the Final Judgment, where I do all Philly sports, post games, interviews. Just had Joe Richmond on from the Delaware Blue Coats, played for the Harlem Globetrotters. He's the ambassador of basketball out there, doing tremendous things. My man Pat, my Devro Sports. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? But it's funny, John, because you look at right away those first. I'll see you agree, because I know you watch the football just like I do. Because it's always the eye test. Remember that, people. It's not always about the numbers, it's about the eye test too. Justin Fields, they were 100% using him the wrong way. When listen, Eberflus, a new coach, he comes in, right away. They want to reinvent the wheel, try to make him a pocket passer. He's not a pocket passer, right? He has to be mobile. He has to be on the move. And John, you saw it, right? Over the last 3 to 4 weeks, what have they done? They've allowed Justin to be Justin, and let alone what's happened. He's turned into a stud, right?
It's all about winning the games, and yeah, I think almost every coach, they want to build the prototypical quarterback. They get an athlete or someone who's done, extremely well in college. They see, potential there, but then they want to mold them into the prototypical quarterback. And there's some guys, especially a lot of guys, that with legs may not have that that accuracy in the pass game, may not have that quick swivel on the head to see the open receivers. But, Jalen Hurts got to do what he's got to do. You got to let him use the legs. Look, back in the day, all right, you counted on a John Elway to be able to complete that third down pass. Nowadays, you want these guys running for those 3-4 yards. If it ain't there, look, scramble out there. Keep that offensive drive alive. And, that there's so much value in winning football games. Forget about being prototypical. Ask any NFL team, any NFL coach, any NFL player. Give me a sloppy win over a pretty loss. So that's what it is. You got to let your guys go out there, let them do what they do to their strengths. Don't force them into things that they're not good at. And truthfully, I mean, that's every sport, every coach. I don't care if we're talking youth or not. You can't just mold players into something that they're not. Baseball, you talk about, pitching mechanics and things that guys don't even, they don't have the prototypical arm slots and things like that. I mean, you know what? If it's working, it's working. You got to go out there and win games. So, yeah, I mean, I think they tried forcing him into being a pocket passer if it's not there. But really the big difference, I think Justin's keeping his head down the field a little bit more. It's not just first option in the play. Oh, it's not there. Hold on. Let me tuck and run. So he's really improving. Just like Tua, I was not a Justin Fields fan.
I know.
I'm still a little bit skeptical. He's doing enough right now. I mean, this is fantasy. All right. He's doing enough with his legs. I mean, at least 60 yards rushing in 4 straight games. He scored 3 touchdowns in 3 or 4 games. That right there is going to make up for a lot of what he may not have in his passing game.
I love it's funny because I can't wait. I know I'll be back on in a couple weeks, but when I was on preseason with Gene Battaglia out on the sports bar in Rochester, New York, and he was giving me those questions, man. What's a couple guys maybe we're not looking at? And his co-host is a Chicago guy. And I said, look, I'm gonna tell you something. Keep an eye on Justin Fields. I think that team right there has the ability to just pop off at the right time in the right. And he's like, "Oh, are you sure?" I'm like, "I'm telling you, this kid." And again, we're talking fantasy for fantasy purposes, like John just alluded to, with the rushing ability. Whenever you have rushing ability, 60 yards a week, that's 6 points. Right? That's 6 points. You know what you need for 6 points? You need 100 yards and a touchdown. That obviously it's going to give you 10 or 150 yards throwing through the air. When you got guys like Aaron Rodgers only throwing for 215. So people have to realize how much of a premium that is. Javon checking in says allowing Fields to use his legs to open up that offense. Look at Cole Kmet now, and it helps the RBs too. And it's so true on Cole Kmet, right? Cole Kmet was doing nothing for the first couple weeks, and now Justin Fields comes right in. So let's get right into my triple threat because we're talking about him. There he is on the left-hand side. I'm going Justin Fields. Okay, I said a bold statement on Sirius on the Jigsaw Hour 2 weeks ago that I said, and this was about John's triple threat, about Tua. I said Tua will be a top 5 fantasy quarterback the rest of the way every single week. When you pull up the DFS market, Tua will be in that top 5 every single week, only because the offense of who he has, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Listen, now you get Jeff Wilson Jr. You're going to see that in some value plays later from John. But you get such a formidable offense that it's hard to stop. So for me, Justin Fields. I look at these quarterbacks like John did, and I'm like, okay, Josh Allen, I still don't think Josh plays. Jalen Hurts, love him. I bleed Philly. I know I bleed green, $8,000. And then I go, okay, Justin Fields is $6,500. I'm going to save myself $1,500. And at the same time, because game script can get out of hand. That's the one thing you have to worry about in Philadelphia. My own opinion. Just be careful. Jalen Hurts, obvious MVP quarterback. Jalen Hurts, obvious stud. But just be careful of the game script. If you look at Jalen Hurts from a DFS perspective, 21, 16, 16, 27, it's only because the game has been out of hand and they've kind of let back off the brakes and they've run the ball a lot. Justin Fields is going to be in every game, whether it be garbage or whether it be just a shootout, because the team stinks. And because they stink, he's just going to continue to put up points. So for me, I'm dropping at 1,500 and I'm going right to Justin Fields. And then I'm going to go with Saquon. I know he's high priced. He's the second highest priced back. Okay. But the New York Giants, listen, they've been balling. Shout out to Brian Daboll out there. Nobody thought to give him a chance. But at 8,600 against the 32 ranked run defense in all football against the Houston Texans, give me that all day long. I'm going to sign up. He's going to be my guy. I know he won't disappoint me. I know his shoulder's a little banged up, but he'll be okay, and he's going to produce. And then from the wide receiver position, it's a homer pick. I get it. It's okay. Okay, this is the way I look at this. John's going yards, rightfully so. 9,100 Tyreek Hill. I look at this and I go, okay, I saved 1,500 on a quarterback. Do I really need to save? No, but I'm looking at, in my mind, besides Tyreek Hill, I'm looking at quarterbacks when it comes to receivers. Cooper Kupp, who we love, but he's hurt a little bit. Stafford, that offense is a little weird. Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins going into Buffalo against a tough defense in the cold weather. Kirk Cousins, as soft as they come, put your shirt back on, Kirk. Nobody wants to see you dance. At the end of the day, I'm not in on Justin Jefferson this week for that price point. So I'm going down to A.J. Brown. I don't see how the Philadelphia Eagles do not destroy the Washington Commanders this week. So for 7,900, this, in my opinion, is going to be a 2-touchdown week for Mr. A.J. Brown. I just talked a lot. I'm sorry, but I had to get my point across on why I picked who they were. I mean, John, when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, I think people have to understand. You've seen this over the years, even with Kansas City when they were on that miraculous run. Sometimes these teams are undefeated and they're really, they're one-upping these teams so much. You have to be careful, don't you? That, they kind of ease off the brake pad, ease off the gas a little bit, and you don't really get those fantasy points like you expect, right?
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you what, for the past couple weeks, I've been waiting for Devonta Smith to pop back up onto the. I look at Brown and Smith in a very similar manner to Tyreek and Waddle, where you almost you got two number one receivers. I mean, in reality, one's a little more prominent, definitely more electric, but it's like 1A and 1B. Yeah, I mean, I know I was looking at AJ Brown for my triple threat as well. Look, it's exactly what you said. Yards dependent, touchdown dependent, and that's really kind of the difference because AJ Brown hasn't been getting a lot of targets, but when he's getting them, he's catching them and he's taking them to the house. So yeah, you get those touchdowns, you're going to be good to go.
It's all about getting those touchdowns, man. It's all about getting those touchdowns. And make sure, again, if you want touchdowns, anytime touchdowns, any kind of props, make sure you're following right there, that Discord room right there. That room, you'll go into the Win Daily Discord, which is free. You go into the Final Judgment room, which is there with me. Javon was in there with me last night. We were back and forth talking NBA plus. And again, plus money props. I don't bet minus 170. Okay. So if you see me, okay, go on Twitter and say, hey, this guy's going to get 20 yards at minus 150. Slap me in the face. It's not what I do. Okay. Nothing against those people. That's what they do. That's fine. They put a lot of money on there. I do it because I like to make a huge profit and I like to have fun. So, and it's fun. Plus money props are ready to go. So make sure you're following that Discord room right there. But speaking of Discord, we have tremendous tools at Win Daily Sports. We do it all the time, whether it be projection models, prop models. We have prize pick prop models that are hitting. I'm not just saying that because I work at Win Daily, okay? Honestly, I'm not just saying that. It's easy. Just go in there. I'm telling you, sometimes when you see these giant companies, you have to latch on them, but you never know what these little guys over here are doing. They might be better and they might give you more of a community aspect. So, again, check it out. And this is what we have to offer right here. My name is Tony Jigsaw Cutillo. You probably see me here before at Win Daily for doing multiple different tasks, but it's because I love sports and I love making a profit. And we all know that it's tough economic times right now for everybody, for me, for you. So we got together as a team and said, how can we offer the best tools in the business for the best price point that we can make it a value to us and you as a consumer? And that's where we came up with $5.99 a week. Yeah, that's true. $5.99 a week. And remember, this promo code GREEN, GREEN. You see the green behind the football, behind the numbers, because we all want some green in our lives, right? Let's face it. And how do we get the most green? And what do we get for this green, for this $5.99 per week? Limited time offer, but for a weekly membership, you get access to every sport. We do every sport here at Win Daily. We have models for everything, player prop models, prize pick models, optimizers. But the most important thing above our podcasts, above our shows, above our articles is our premium coaching in the Discord chat. We have experts in there 24/7 that are able to answer your questions and make it feel like a community. Okay, here's a sample of some of the stuff that you get. You see the home run models right there, the prize pick prop models, Formula One racing. Yes, we do NASCAR, NFL showdowns, and then our highly popular Better Golf podcast. NCAA football every Friday night, MLB DFS plays and props. And how about the run pass percentages that go in our articles every single week? On top of that, our highly popular NFL pre-lock show, PGA Draftcast. These guys from the golf show are hitting on a weekly basis, MLB strategy. And then you see some more statistics when it comes to football. These are the graphs that you see. And then everybody says, what else do you get? Where's the screenshots? Who wins, right? Well, here you go. We'll give you some screenshots. 50,000, 100,000, 25,000, 5,000, right? Then you go again, 25,000, 900. And guess what? Doesn't matter big or small. Maybe it's $30. Maybe it's $50. Maybe it's $5. It doesn't matter. Okay, we talk to big and small, advanced, beginner. We're all a family here. If you're making money, that's good with us because that's where we want to be. So remember, Win Daily Sports, $5.99 a week. Get that green and let us turn your love of sports into a profit center. Man, I'm tongue twisted right there. See that? That's that's a whole 2 minutes and 30 seconds there, man. You know, I had to talk for a while there, but no, listen, I'm not trying to be the ultimate salesman here. I'm just being real. You know, we all look at things. John knows it's been a fancy for a long time, I know people pay all the time for cheat sheets, for articles. Listen, these guys work hard. Okay. And that's everywhere. I'm not just saying Win Daily. These guys I know how much goes into this, okay? So I'm just letting you know, but it is nice to be able to just listen. We're all busy. We're all on the go, right? It is nice to just throw up a projection model, you know, see who you want to play, get the neutral fast. Don't have to do any research, and boom, put them in, and you're good to go. So make sure you're following, and make sure you're getting that Discord room. I keep telling you, because we have a lot of fun with that. Javon right here was in there the other night. He says Saquon could have 2 touchdowns on Sunday. Look out for a big game. Jacob Sanders, Henry Eckler crushed the Texans defense over the last few weeks. Javon, he knows. We're always on the same page, and if we're not, that's the best part. Last night, he opened up a prop for a double-double to Isaiah Stewart. He talked about Malik Monk over assist prop. You know, things I didn't even look at, right? And that's what's great, because we all work together. But yeah, that's why I have Saquon for me. I have Justin Fields, like I said, and A.J. Brown. But let's get, again, I'll throw it up there real fast so everybody remembers. So this is where the triple threat is for me. I got Justin Fields, Saquon, A.J. Brown. John's going Tua, Travis Etienne, and Tyreek Hill. Again, these are based on value. Please remember that. Based on value. Somebody, Justin Fields. Relax. Everybody calm down. I know everybody likes to hate all the time. Okay, but it's, hey, who's that top guy? How much am I saving? And how much is that point differential? That's what we look at. And that's why we pick who we pick. Now let's get the value plays, Sean. John had some pretty good value plays. I got a couple value plays as well. Right off the bat, they're intriguing. So, John, this is John right here. And John's going Danny Dimes, huh? 5,700. Danny Dimes. I like it.
I'll tell you, this whole week slate, forget position. I feel like I don't think there's a lot of deep values. It's like I feel like the floor of where I'm willing to go is higher this week than any other week. I mean, looking at the quarterbacks that are out there, I don't see anything below Daniel Jones that really even tempts me. I mean, how do you roll Stafford out there? How do you roll Derek Carr out there? There's just, I could potentially see maybe a Trevor Lawrence at 5,400. Just the fact that they're going up against Mahomes and the Chiefs. But, similar to what you guys said, what you said about Barkley, you're going against Houston. You don't have to do a whole heck of a lot to make up your, 5,700 price tag. You're talking 3x. If he gets to 16 points, that'll get you where you need to be. So who knows who's going to catch balls from them, because their receiving core is perennially just terrible. They got 5 guys that should all be studs, but nobody can stay on the field.
I know.
So, Daniel Jones there. Looking at the running backs, Jeff Wilson, I expect a little bit bigger piece of the pie. It was almost a 50-50 split with him and Mostert. It'll be interesting to see how that goes, but I could see Jeff Wilson getting in the end zone again. It was a real close tie with Najee Harris at 5,500 as well.
I looked at that too.
This guy's hit the floor. All right. So, and this is, I also like Freiermuth a little bit this week. You can see my receivers. George Pickens at 5,000. Claypool's gone. The middle of the field's going to be open. There's going to be balls that need to be caught in that Pittsburgh offense. And Steven Sims, who's really taken that third receiver role. If you want to go deep, that's really the only guy that I would even take a flyer on in Steven Sims. But, yes, I'm biased, but I do not bet as a hometown player, okay? I'm not a homer from a betting perspective. Money is money. Money's green. There ain't no black and gold and green. All right. But I will say, look, this offense should be better. You could say what you want. Pickett has actually looked pretty good. Yes, he got a ton of interceptions. One of his interceptions, Claypool falls down. Another one's a Hail Mary at the end of the game. He's trying to win ball games. They're coming off a bye week. They're at home. They got TJ Watt back. And I'm sorry, I know we're talking offense for fantasy. There is something to be said for the way a team plays when they have a shot in the arm of some defense that can, get them off the field and get the offense on the field. So it's going to be very interesting to see the Pittsburgh offense as a whole. I'll tell you what, though, if Najee doesn't step up this week, I could see Jalen Warren, who has been the better running back. I'll put that out there right now. He goes north-south. He doesn't wait for a hole. He doesn't do this dancing like Lev Bell. And that's what Najee's problem's been. It's not been the injury. Yeah, the offensive line isn't good, but he's waiting and waiting and waiting and trying to break a 40-yard play when get the 3 to 4 yards. So sorry to go on that little bit of Pittsburgh rant, but from a daily perspective, look, if that offense does turn it around this week, there's going to be a lot of values there. They're playing at home, which is a better venue. I touched on Pickens. Pickens has been Pickett's go-to guy, really. Deontay Johnson has not been the same player with Pickett under center. So we'll see. I know it's a little heavy there on the Steelers in terms of the values, but I didn't see a whole lot of values this week. So what do you got, Tone?
I love. It's funny again, and I'm going to say this again because this is what, and I'm not doing this again. Just say it. All right. So when me and John do these shows, and again, I'm so glad we picked it back up because I missed it. John will text me the night before and he'll give me his triple threat. He'll give me his value plays. Now I'm already doing my own picks. So there's always guys that we're together, which makes you feel good. I'm going to tell you something. I mentioned earlier about, when you look at these big outfits and these giant, we got to go there. And, maybe you look at the smaller guy. And listen, I'm going to tell you what. John, you may not know John because he's not on Twitter all the time. He's not I get it, but nobody does more research than I know in this business than this guy right here. So when he says things, they mean something to me, and I'm going to show you why. Because I like Jalen Warren at 4,900, and for exactly what John just said, he's been the better running back. Something's not right with Najee. I said this in the beginning of the year. He hurt his foot. I was skeptical of the offensive line, but now when teams change quarterbacks, something happens, and like he just said, all of a sudden Deontay Johnson kind of out. They trade Claypool. Pickens is the guy, which I think we knew. Jalen Warren's been the better back, and one of these weeks, we're all going to say, "Oh my God, Jalen Warren! This is the week," and they're home against a New Orleans offense, our defense that's been shredded lately from the running back position. I very much could see this week be the Jaylen Warren week. Like, I have these Jigsaw mind vibes sometimes, and Jaylen Warren to me, I would not be disappointed, or I wouldn't be surprised if we're watching Scott Hansen on Red Zone pull up and Jaylen Warren is walking into the end zone and he's having a great rookie day. So I like that. Another rookie, I like Isaiah Pacheco. I love him. Pacheco, whatever the hell you want to call him. Okay, but I love this guy, and Andy Reid loves this guy. And it's just a matter of time. CH is falling out of favor. He's not the stud they thought he is. McKinney can only do so much. This is the kid they want. And again, when you look at the matchup this week, okay, at home against Jacksonville, I'm sorry, Jacksonville is going to get just completely obliterated on the offense or on the defensive side. Just my opinion. I think that Jacksonville will do some things because the Kansas City defense isn't studly. Okay, but I do think that they're going to get slashed on the other side by Mahomes and company. I think Pacheco is going to be one of those guys. Huge value play to me. And then again, this goes 100% on game script. Okay, you're going to pull Dante Pettis' numbers up and you're like, this dude is trash. He's caught like 4 catches in 6 weeks. I get it. Okay, I understand. Kmet, you got Claypool, you got Mooney, who I love. Okay, but I'm just talking about one play. And you know what that play? I love doing this. That play is going to be about a 2nd and goal from the 8. Justin Fields going to roll out. He's going to be looking all over the place, right? He's going to be going one way, going the other way. Then all of a sudden, Pettis is going to break route, get open in the corner of the end zone, and we're all going to hit that anytime touchdown for Dante Pettis. And that 3,300 is going to look gold. I'm going to tell you that right now. So that's where I'm at for my value plays. That's who I picked out. We got a lot of comments here. Oh, my man. The comments are flowing, and I'm sorry. They want to know, all right, John, here we got some questions here. Will we trade Tua for Chris Godwin? He already has Hurts. That's an interesting one because that Tampa Bay offense is scary.
Obviously it depends on the rest of your roster, but if you have Jalen Hurts, you ain't playing Tua. So if Tua's sitting on your bench collecting dust and Godwin is an upgrade to your receiver, yes, absolutely. Look, Godwin's also been getting the targets. All right. He came out and said he's not quite 100% yet. The chemistry hasn't quite been there, but the volume's there. And look, Mike Evans, he's always dropped balls. All right. That's been something that he's done for years, not just this year, last year. I'm talking years. Godwin has pretty sure hands. So if he could turn 1 or 2 of those, missed throws or getting in the right spot a little earlier, I like Godwin. I got him in a couple leagues, and actually I would go after him. Look, it's a good, dare I call it, buy low. I see him as a top 15 receiver for the rest of the way.
I like 10 potentially. I'm 100% with you. 100%. So Marcus, let us know. Make sure you hit that subscription button. Make sure you hit the notification button as well. If you're new to the channel, make sure you're following us for all the content. Make sure you're signing up. Again, anybody checking in, all right, just make sure that you're signing up and then you use the code word green, GREEN. Okay. You want to use that code word green. It's right here. You get your first free week. Just go to that reference link right there. And again, we're $5.99 a week for everything we offer for all the sports. So make sure. And again, GREEN. And then hop in this Discord room too. Okay. Once you sign up for free, it's free. Again, I'm not kidding. It's free. And once you sign up for free, go to this Discord room, go to the Final Judgment room. There's tons of rooms, but if you want plus money props, go to the Final Discord room and we'll get you going. I'm there every day throwing out those kind of props, and as much money as we can make is what we want to do. Keg says, which team would you rather have? Jalen Hurts, Saquon, CMC, JJ Waddle, Amari Cooper, or Mahomes, Saquon, ETN, Justin Jefferson, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker? You know what? Right away, John, I go team 1. What do you say?
I'm trying to digest everything here. Oh, that's a close one. Jefferson's on both of them. Hurts to Mahomes. I like Hurts a little bit better, but I mean, for the most part, that's a watch. Saquon's on both of them. So we're talking CMC versus ETN. Waddle and Cooper versus Lockett and Walker is really what I'm looking at.
Yep.
Yeah, truthfully, I mean, I almost think this is a push. I would have to go with team one. I would have to go with team one barely. Um, yeah, yeah, I like Walker a lot, but Waddle's also a top 15 receiver. That's a close one. I mean, both those teams are stacked.
Yeah,
Either
they
way.
are. You know what? I looked at CMC right off the bat because I just think he stays healthy, dude. I mean, you're rolling out CMC and Saquon, and you got Jalen Hurts, and you got Justin Jefferson and Waddle. I don't even care about Amari Cooper. Doesn't even matter. Like he's like, he's a premium or he's a bonus, I should say. So yeah, I like that. Keg, make sure you're hitting that subscription button. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're hitting the notification button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you're checking us out. WinDailySports.com. All our content. Again, code word is green, GREEN. And again, go to the link. It's in the comments. Just click on it. You'll log in, you'll sign up, and you type in the word GREEN, and you get your first week free. What a better week to start than right now. Javon says, I might say he's listening. You say might have to put that anytime touchdown play on George Pickens, especially with no Lattimore. It's another good point. John saw about John, no Lattimore this week, which is the best corner, one of the best corners in football, but the best corner, obviously, for the New Orleans Saints, not playing, John. So that's huge. That is huge.
Yeah.
Antonio says Swift or Deontay PPR. That's a tough one because both of those dudes are questionable right now in the sense that Deontay's giving you nothing. Swift is like losing time to Jamal Williams because of the injury. Like it's just a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one. We just doo-dooed all over Deontay.
Yeah, we did.
We talked about every other Steeler as like a potential good game. And what's funny is my kid keeps talking Swift, and that injury and the volume. Look, he's an explosive player. He only needs 10 touches to make value. I'm probably going with Swift.
Yeah,
I'm probably going with Swift.
I agree. Now he also says, Antonio says, would you do Swift and Taylor for Henry?
Yes.
100%. Sign me up.
I would also like to know who's plugging into that RB2 slot.
Yeah, because if you're given two.
But I'm thinking if it's between Swift and Deontay, that's probably for a flex position.
Yeah,
so if we're talking about getting Henry in there and then plugging in Deontay instead of Swift into the flex position, I'm definitely doing that. I don't like Henry in a keeper or dynasty league. He's overperforming what I expected this year. I thought this was going to year that he was going to start having a downturn. That big build coming off the injury, the age getting there.
Yep.
I didn't think it was there, but man, I'll tell you what, I'd love to have him this year again.
Especially now with the with the quarterback position, right? You change the young guy Malik, and you're out there, and you're like, okay, what do we do? We got to run the rock. There's nobody. Listen, they had a lot of injuries out there, and shout out. I'll say this real fast. Shout out to Mike Vrabel, who's probably the best coach in the NFL that doesn't get enough love. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm a Mike Tomlin guy, not because John's here. He is my favorite number one coach. But Mike Vrabel does not get enough love, in my opinion, who's just an old school football guy, learned from one of the GOATs, and just continues to keep that team rolling through all adversity. Javon says, here's another play to watch out for. DPJ, I love the DPJ plays versus Miami. Been widely consistent over the last 4 to 5 games. I agree. Javon, we were in on him a couple weeks ago too, me and you. That's another great play. DPJ. I love the acronyms, right? When I talk about that, but Donovan Peoples-Jones has been, when he says widely consistent over the past 4 weeks, he has been. And again, we talk about volume. Okay, talk about volume, and not only volume, but target catch ratio. He's been 100% the last 2 weeks. Listen, 4 for 81, 6 for 71, 4 for 74, 4 for 50, 5 for 71. He's double-digit points easily, and he's 4,300. So, Javon, great play right there. Always bringing some fantastic content. And make sure you're checking Javon out on Twitter. Again, JAlford10. Check him out as well. But doing tremendous things for Sporting News. Matt says, hey, what's up, Matt? Adam says, start Rondell Moore or Allen Robinson third. It's got to be Moore. I can't trust A-Rob, right, John?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's easy.
End of story.
Matt, would you guys, as we go down the home stretch here, Matt says, would you guys trade Diggs or JJ for Saquon. I'm in need of a running back, and I've got JJ, Diggs, and Hopkins. That's interesting.
I would try to trade Hopkins.
There you go.
I feel like I would not trade Diggs, first of all. I like Diggs the most. I think he's the most consistent. Look, we're talking about season-long fantasy. The last thing you need is, the boom weeks are great, but the bust weeks aren't. Jefferson has not really performed like that number one, no doubt receiver. He's had some really good games, don't get me wrong. But Hopkins, look, I'm riding him in a couple season-long leagues. He's overachieved, in my opinion. He's been getting the targets. But, we just talked, chose Rondell Moore in one of those. Robbie Anderson's there. Zach Ertz is there. Brown's going to be, Hollywood Brown will be back in another couple weeks. I still think Hopkins is going to be good, but, that Arizona, Kyler Murray doesn't instill a lot of confidence in that passing offense either. So if I'm going to try to move one of those three, I could see Hopkins. Look, number one, he's coming off of 2 big games. That's the guy that I would try to move. And even if I got to move down from Barkley and maybe get like an ETN, a Pierce, a Kenneth Walker, something around that range, I don't know that you'll be able to get Barkley for him, but I would try to move Hopkins.
Yeah, I like that. I like that move. And make sure, again, you're following us at windailysports.com. Make sure you're following the free Discord room. Again, it's free. I'm not kidding. It's free. Jump in there. Tons of personalities. Once you get in there, you can also find a Final Judgment room, which is my own room, where we could talk plus money props. That's all we talk. Plus money props every single day. NBA, we were doing home run derby props, which were great. And NFL, obviously. So hop in there as well. And make sure you're getting that first free week. Hashtag code word green, GREEN. Make sure you're checking it in. So as we roll out here, John, we got a couple more questions, then we're going to get out of here. Matt says, Matt also says, I also have Ayuk and Judy, deep at wide receiver. So he does have wide receiver depth. So like you said, I mean, you're going to get the more value from the running back, but you'll be able to kind of back that value up with the receiver, which I agree. Keg says, I asked that question because he's the big trade question. It says, I got to offer Mahomes, ETN, and Kenneth Walker for Hurts, CMC, Waddle, and Cooper. I already have Saquon and Justin Jefferson, too. I'm 5-4. Was not sure what I should do. That's interesting. So you got offer Mahomes, ETN, and Kenneth Walker for Hurts. See, I'm not Hurts, CMC, Waddle. I got to keep them, man. I'm sorry. I can't trust ETN for the entire season. Kenneth Walker, who I love. Mahomes, who I love too. Mahomes and Hurts to me are a wash, John. That's how I look at this, right? I'm looking at this trade for, I'm not even talking about Cooper. This is CMC and Waddle for ETN and Walker. And you got to go CMC Waddle all day long, right? I mean, how do you not?
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
So, as always, man, simple as that. We're going to get out of here, okay? But before we get out of here, we'll go over real fast. We'll do a recap, okay? We'll give you, again, this is our triple threat, okay? John is going to it, ETN, and Tyreek Hill. Again, this is for DFS purposes. And then I'm going Justin Fields, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown, okay? And then on top of that, we got our value plays, okay? We got our value plays, and John's going Daniel Jones. He's going Jeff Wilson Jr., who is going to be revived again. And he's going Pickens and Sims. And for me, I'm going Pacheco. I'm going Jaylen Warren, the 2 unsung rookie running backs that may be big this week, and a one-time look for Dante Pettis in the back of the end zone that should result in a touchdown. As we get out of here, hold on, got a couple more as we get out of here. My man Brian says, I'm debating on who I should start at my flex. This will be the last one. But again, we'll get to this question. Always hit us up in the comments. We'll be on there. We'll answer as much as possible. Who should I start? Aaron Jones. He says, I have Aaron Jones, but I'm debating on putting Swift, Judy, or Godwin. My starting running backs are Pollard and Pierce. I don't know, John. It's a tough one because Aaron Jones is that whole Green Bay team has been very unimpressive lately.
I'm keeping Aaron Jones in.
He says my starting wide receivers are Lockett and Kirk.
Yeah, I'm keeping Aaron Jones in. I would almost switch the whole lineup around.
That's what I'm looking at.
I would probably go with Aaron Jones and Swift, and bench Pollard. Zeke, I believe, is going to be back. I love Pierce. So I go Pearson, Aaron Jones. Swift would be the third option, but I like Godwin over Lockett.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I actually like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I like Christian Kirk over Judy. It's my opinion. So
Yes.
So I
Jacksonville's
think
going to have to throw the ball.
yes, exactly.
It's just and it's crazy. You think with a second-year quarterback in Trevor Lawrence that he would not spread the ball around as much as he has. Marvin Jones has had blow-up weeks. Zay Jones has had blow-up weeks. Kirk has had blow-up weeks. Evan Ingram's had some good weeks. I mean, that's pretty impressive for a second-year quarterback that he's not just honing in on one guy, but somebody's going to have to step up if they want to keep up with Mahomes.
Exactly, and that's Dougie P team. They like to distribute the ball as always. So listen, as always, make sure you're following Win Daily Sports. There's your reference link right there. Make sure you're going to the link. Make sure you're signing up. First free week, you get all of our tools. The code word is green, GREEN, and make sure you're popping in his Discord room. I'll have some anytime touchdowns in there later. We're gonna have some plus money props when we talk about receiving market, talk about receptions. Make sure you're popping into the free Discord room, and then you find a final judgment where we can go back and forth all day long during the games, after the games, whatever it is, to get these plus money props out there. But again, as always, I say it all the time, Win Daily Sports, Heat Ratio Sports, The Final Judgment, Tony Jigsaw Cutillo, Pittsburgh John Coker. Everybody enjoy your Saturday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch you back here next time.